Welcome to It's the Muppet Show podcast. I'm Heather.
I'm Jason.
Today we're watching Season 1, Episode 7 with our very special guest star, Florence Henderson. Originally airing in New York on November 15th, 1976.
Yeah, Mrs. Brady.
Yeah. America's mom.
Absolutely. Who didn't watch the Brady Bunch, really? Whether it was, it was on Nick at Night all the time. It was in syndication, forever.
Yep. And they had all the spin-offs, I broke my ankle one time and ended up watching, a whole run of the Brady Brides, which I didn't realize was a thing. And I was, in my late 20s or mid-20s at the time.
Absolutely. So they did have spin-offs, for sure. They had, the original run of the Brady Bunch was from 1969 to 1974. So she was, just right off of the Brady Bunch run, for sure.
Yeah, they were doing a variety hour at that point. So she was kind of she comes from Broadway. So they were getting back to the Broadway roots with the variety show. So they all got to kind of show off all of their talents.
Yeah, she was in Oklahoma. Was the Broadway stint that she had.
Yeah.
Right.
She was in Fosse? No. Shoot.
Fanny.
There we go.
Yeah.
That was her big one.
Right. I don't know Fanny.
I know from Fanny.
Right. But she had a previous experience with the Muppets on the Mike Douglas Show in 1966, where she sang "My Funny Valentine" to Kermit.
Oh, nice.
Later on in life, like most other people of that time, she was no stranger to The Love Boat, Murder, She Wrote. Later on, she was on 30 Rock, Ally McBeal, Dancing with the Stars, and as you mentioned off air, Roseanne.
Yeah, she was Flo Anderson.
Right.
On one episode.
Sure.
But I just like that they kind of just stuck with her name.
Yeah.
We don't have to go far for this.
Right.
But she was in so many different things. She always showed up, and you could always tell when she was a guest star on anything that people were just starry-eyed and in love with her constantly. She was just, the light of everyone's life.
Yeah. I definitely, you could show a picture of her and they're going to know Mrs. Brady when they see her, for sure.
Yeah. My favorite weird fact is her second marriage was to a hypnotherapist. Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, I did hear on another Muppet Rewatch podcast that, like Jim Nabors, she also sang at the Indy 500.
Really?
Absolutely.
Huh. That's a popular place to be, I guess.
I guess so.
Cool.
Let's fire this one up.
Yeah.
It's the Muppet Show. Yep, you'll never hear me complain about the intro, for sure.
Nope.
It's got everything I want.
I think they just got discount maroon tuxedos. Burgundy tuxedos. I don't know why I'm so fixated on them.
You do love them. So in the cutaway joke, we have Fozzie complaining about the prices of hamburgers and that he's going to need a co-signer to basically get one. Kermit introduces Florence, and she shows up with a gaggle of monsters that we'll see later on when she performs her number. So this time when Gonzo strikes the O, the sign kind of just raises right up into the rafters, and he just watches it sail. Florence Henderson's introduced by Kermit right off the bat, and he's gushing right away. And the first act is introduced, and it is an all-pig act.
The Bouncing Borsellino Brothers.
And they're from Boston, not far away.
Woohoo!
So the Borsellino brothers here are, would you say these guys are acrobats?
Yeah.
Gymnasts, and they're basically performing a El Piramido.
And then they crash through the floor.
Yeah, basically they were performing El Piramido, which is, it's a human pyramid. There's 6 of these guys. They've been doing this stuff bouncing around since birth. The biggest guy, Tiny, takes the top position, and they crash through the floor. Really brings into speculation the sturdiness of Muppet
It's
theater.
falling apart. Just ask George, who we're visiting with now.
Yep, we're backstage with George, and he is sick and tired of cleaning up after these lousy pigs, he says. And the punchline is, well, you could always, Kermit says, well, you could always quit. And George is like, what, get out of show business? So, I mean, he's just anything you can get to be, to have that spotlight. In the theater. Yes. So quickly bouncing to the talking houses. In this one, we have one house saying that his brother, who has ghosts in his attic, is on the top 10 most haunted list as opposed to wanted list.
Nice pun.
Absolutely.
And then we're over to Florence.
Absolutely. So Kermit introducing Florence.
So it's the butterfly. What is the name of this? The
Elusive butterfly.
Elusive butterfly.
Yep, and it's a very wispy looking, bejeweled woodland set that she's strolling through. And singing this song that was actually, it wasn't written for the Muppet Show. Despite how it sounds very, light and whimsical, but when you hear the actual cut of the song, it has much more of a 60s feel to it. It's very, it's kind of hippy dippy for sure.
Yeah, she was very much into like the Age of Aquarius
kind of look and feel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the
the pull
camera
focus
trick they're doing where they're bringing her in and out, like fading her in and out. That's a like dual exposure.
Right, as she goes through the jeweled branches. It's very ethereal.
It's a really pretty set.
Yeah.
All white, and she's like in super Technicolor.
Yep. I'm not breaking any ground here by saying this, but you see any Muppets in this skit?
The butterfly. That's
okay.
That's Muppetry.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. Yeah, so there's pretty much no Muppets to speak of. There's certainly a fog machine. It looks like involved, but we have one. I feel like I could make that Muppet. It's a pretty primitive
it's just
butterfly.
It's just a gauzy, fluttering thing.
Yep. So
but they do this sometimes. They just want to feature. They're playing with the camera. Like
it's a lot of camera
They're doing
tricks.
a lot of camera tricks as opposed to doing puppetry.
Right, and that was Jim's. Jim was very much into film, so it makes sense. It tracks for the Muppet Show for sure. But when you hear the song, it's just kind of, jeez.
There you go. There's a bunch of.
Okay, there's a grip of butterflies, maybe 14.
It's precisely 14 butterflies.
But it's a very it feels Muppety for sure.
Yeah.
And they cut to the Muppet crowd for sure. A response. Okay, but backstage we have Kermit. He's still dealing with these Borsellino brothers. They're really tying up the backstage here, and Miss Piggy is stirred by Kermit's command of the backstage, and she really jumps on him. This is some of the, how you've seen Piggy in these past couple episodes basically been attracted to mostly other pigs. She's had a little bit of interest in Kermit, but this one she's really kind of laying it on. And she crumpled Kermit's face. Look at that. Good God.
Ooh. She
says she's a liberated pig. All right, we're at the dance. Okay, we have George right off the bat, and he is doing what I like to think of as his classic dance.
Yeah, just the bouncing up and down really hard.
Yeah, I love it.
Smashing.
Yeah.
Real?
Yeah, it's Mildred. He keeps, and that's keeps bumping into her, and they both they complain about the new generation of these younger dancers around. Look, Jesus, George is going crazy. So we have these look like Frackles, but they're called heap monsters. There's a purple and green heap dancing. They're talking about how the wine's getting to their head. We have Rolf dancing. What? How
Mildred was just like, what?
We have two dancing rats talking about moving out of the ghetto and moving into a nice little dump in the suburbs.
It's a full house.
This lady right here dancing what he looks like. He almost looks like the Apophalaka guy. This is a very loud whatnot Muppet. She's just screaming.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we have the talk spot here. And this time, actually, the female guest is taking the lead, sort of, as far as making the woos. And she was making some eyes and comments to Kermit, and Piggy busts in. And as we just mentioned, Piggy is pretty committed to Kermit at this point. Florence tries to bust in and says that they're old friends. There's nothing going on. Yeah, Piggy's not buying it.
Yeah. That Kermit was just practicing what he wanted to say to Piggy on Florence.
Yep. And we have Piggy kind of grabbing on Kermit, drops him. All right. She's straight up threatening Florence now. Yeah, it's getting heated.
Same color hair.
They do have the same color hair, though, which is maybe where the threatening nature comes from. And this is going to end not well with Piggy demonstrating some of her. I'm not sure if it's kung fu or judo, or it's just straight karate. Lays a few chops on her, and she also gets a little like dirty. She plays a little dirty fighting here, and she actually bites her in the arm. Okay.
Is that the UK spot?
Okay. I looked back and when it was the Jim Muppet and they did Tomorrow, that was also a UK spot. Okay. So it's not always Rolf.
But it is frequently Rolf.
So here we have Rolf on the UK spot. And oddly enough, they're doing Coddleston Pie. Which not oddly, I meant that kind of sarcastically, because it's an A.A. Milne poem, probably most notably known from Winnie the Pooh, and it's a cute little song, you know. Do you remember this?
Doing a modulation on Coddleston.
How did you know that? Does he say that? Mm-hmm. Oh. Rolf modulates to the key of G sharp minor for the song's second verse. Thoughts on Winnie the Pooh?
I like Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah. He's very sullen, though.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, that's just sort of like a children's book for children's stories for depressed kids. So.
Morose children. And this song is definitely sort of in that vein for sure.
I think we're just okay with depression then.
Yeah.
The piano players must have just been so good to be able to do puppeteering and play piano at the same time.
Right. Or they just did a very convincing puppeteering job.
Yeah.
Yep.
So right, burgundy tuxedo.
Yep. That means it's a panel discussion.
Florence being herself.
Yep. As opposed to a character. Sometimes when they're on the panel, or most times I think, they're playing a character. This time she's playing herself. We got Kermit, Floyd, Miss Piggy, and they're trying to determine whether Shakespeare was in fact Bacon. And Piggy.
And do they mean? Oh, they mean Francis Bacon.
See, that's the joke. And Piggy gets a little bent, and in the middle of this. Piggy demands, this is quotes, pigs of the world unite. Okay, she's had enough of the pig punnery, and the bacon jokes, and the ham this and that.
Yep.
And isn't there something in the news right now with Piggy? I think there is, where she's saying she's not identifying as a pig anymore.
Are you being serious?
Do you have your electronic device on you?
I do.
I'm pretty sure that this is a thing. I've heard. This is brave. I mean, if you're driving a car, pull over, because I don't want to shock you with any breaking news.
Because he's not shocking you with any breaking news. Yeah, no, got nothing.
Really? Yeah. If I find it on my own, I'm gonna.
That's fine.
Pig. What did you type in? I feel like
Miss
Joe
Piggy
Rogan
not
right now.
identifying as a pig.
Okay. Well, Jamie from Joe Rogan would have found it. No,
I'm really happy to not be Jamie from Joe Rogan. No offense.
Oh, and so at the end of the panel discussion, they mentioned next week's topic, which is kind of spoiler. You'll see that they're trying to like make it a continuous, like put show continuity into it. It doesn't actually work out. They cut to Statler and Waldorf.
I don't remember this chandelier sconce that they had before. It's really nice.
Oh yeah, it was kind of a different angle on their balcony booth.
A bit more of an
too.
upshot.
It was. So we cut to backstage. Kermit asks Hilda, Zoot, and Wayne to tell again with these Borsellino brothers to knock it off. And it basically devolves into a game of telephone. Hilda tells Zoots to knock it off, who tells Wayne. And then finally they pass the message to the pigs. And Kermit asks them to knock it off. And then finally Kermit asks them to knock off the knock-it-offs. So, and then Wayne, Zoot, and Hilda ask each other to knock off the knock-it-offs in reverse until Kermit has a major freak out, and he succeeds finally.
And then Piggy attacks him again, sexually.
There's a lot of that.
And we're over to Fozzie.
Yep. And he's doing a series of impersonations of famous actors. But they all kind of sound the same. I like his... I think I've said it before, but I really dig his set. Was he in the park?
Yeah. Maybe he's
his little park bench. He's like busking.
Oh, could be.
And there's like the Venetian sort of, I don't know, like just the fence and stuff in the background.
Well, it kind of reminds me of a zoo. The
it does
fence.
kind of look like he's
is he supposed to be a bear in a zoo?
It does sort of read like he's in a cage.
But there's a nice bench in the cage.
Right. So he tries a Jimmy Cagney impersonation. Cary Grant. Okay, next I'm gonna do Cary Grant in all his movies. So he's just trying to like mash him up. And you know what? Statler and Waldorf, they're like, listen, these all sound the same. And Fozzie's like, yeah, they all have the same writer.
We'd like to see an impression of a bear leaving a stage.
Gotcha. Presenting a bear stage. Like
B-A-R-E.
I love me some Fozzie Bear.
He's getting better, or we're getting worse. Once again,
Florence Henderson. We got a musical number. And you know what? That is a disturbing Muppet, right?
I kind of like him.
Can you describe him a little bit?
He's a little bit of a fanged lizardy type thing with yellow eyes and fangs.
Yeah, that's Lenny the Lizard. So you nailed it. So yeah, it's Florence.
Or they were like Eskimo kissing.
This is Florence singing the Turtles song, Happy Together. And everyone knows Happy Together.
Happy together.
That's the one. And it comes off the Turtles' third studio album, Happy Together, which came out in 1967. Yep, it is a good chorus. We have 2, 4, 6, 7 I don't know. It's mostly the lizard. It's Lenny the lizard, and then they look like freckles mostly, like the not generic, but the real
like Monster Fang
yeah
style.
right.
That's a great one. The long snout and
The
lots of teeth.
the very beaked one. Wow. Yeah. So it's pretty crazy. But this, I feel like this is the perfect Muppet song. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Outside of Electric Mayhem, I mean when they're doing like just like a sing-songy cover.
Yeah.
This is
when you
this
get a
is
good
it.
Muppet chorus, like
Right.
everyone feels good in this. Everyone
Yeah.
feels good right now.
Yeah, you nailed it. You really get a good selection of like Muppet tongues here. Looking at this, you get some with the little black thing. You get some full-tongued ones. It didn't.
Yeah, Blue
it
Guy
really-
has a lot of detail in his mouth.
Yeah, he does.
Because he's mostly mouth. When he
Right.
talks, it's like fizz gig. Like, that's a ton of mouth.
Yep.
That must have been really cozy. It's a lot of
Yeah,
monster
she's very.
snuggles.
She does seem to really interact well with them. So we're backstage again, and yeah, Piggy is still jealous. She keeps hounding Kermit. Keeps just making basically just straight up advances, saying, you're my frog, and Kermit's like, I'm not your frog.
In a
Where-
classic
this-
Muppet, in a
yeah,
classic Kermit freak out.
Yeah, arms up in the air, and she's really laying on the voo and wah, and he finally puts on he makes another bacon crack, and she is, would you call that
Stomping
a
him.
curb stomp?
I would gonna say exactly a curb stomp.
Yeah, she karate chops him,
She pork chopped him.
pork chopped him,
She said
and
it
then
herself.
straight up American History X'd, curb stomped him on the base of his
Yeah.
own desk.
Now we've gotten into Florence and Sweetums.
Yeah, this is the blackout segment, which is a quick joke. Sweetum tells Florence that he could fall for her, and he indeed does. He falls right off the stage.
Oh, this is a great one.
Yeah, we've arrived with Kermit here on the planet Coosbane, and he's kind of got his Muppet News look. He's got that really long game show host microphone.
And it's like a nature documentary.
It's kind of like a nature documentary, and this. Remember, we were watching the documentary, and it showed the clips from the Muppet Valentine's Day show.
Mm-hmm.
This segment was from that, or it's the same skit. It's basically they're on an alien planet. There's craters. There's caves, and Kermit is witnessing this mating ritual between. It's called the Galley O Hoop Hoop, which is the this mating ritual basically between these Muppets. I don't even know what to say, but this is a mating ritual.
Yeah.
And it's very obvious.
Yes.
And they eventually explode.
Let's just give away the ending. Spoiler, they explode.
But
I feel like that's like most of the Muppets.
Yeah.
Spoiler, they explode.
Right. I do like the set very much.
Mm-hmm. That's some really good like matte painting.
Yep. Some kind of forced perspective with the background. They got a billowing smoke from the moon volcanoes.
The Galileo Hoop Hoop is about to begin.
And they kind of scream, Galileo hoop! Wow.
And then
Well, there you have
immediately
it, friends.
tiny little ones emerge from
Yep,
the
a bunch of
explosion.
them. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 of them popped out.
And they all appear to be the boy, because none of them have that snowy.
They kind of look
nose.
like little mini
Nose.
Elmos, didn't they?
They do look like mini Elmos.
Wow. And that was it? That's how we're...
Yeah.
Going
Thank
out?
our very special guest star, Florence
Whoa.
Henderson. In her classic
Yay, thank you,
cowboy neck
Henderson.
turtleneck.
Yeah, that's a very 70s outfit.
Yeah.
Wow, she just
she
kissed her
went
right
in.
on the lips.
She went in for
Kissed
it.
him right on the lips. Fozzie was like, "Oh, why? We got a wire from Mrs. Henderson," and they pull out a wire coat hanger,
Yeah.
but not making a Mummy Dearest reference.
No.
Well, what'd you think overall? Kind
It
of
was-
like
That was good. That was what you wanted from Florence Henderson. She's a talented woman. She makes you feel good. It wasn't like earth-shatteringly new or different, but she's good at what she does.
Absolutely. I'm not gonna say I didn't like it, but I'll definitely agree with you. It was what you would expect. I'm not a huge fan of her singing voice, but she's not really. I mean, I look at her as Mrs. Brady.
Yeah.
I guess
And she will always be Mrs. Brady. She will always be America's mom.
Right. But a great episode.
Yeah.
For sure. As always.
All right. Who do we have up next?
Yeah, who is next? We got Paul Williams.
Awesome.
Wow. Holy smokes.
The man, the Muppet.
Basically.
The myth.
Yeah, right. The living Muppet himself. So, I'll be really looking forward to talking about that for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But for now, thank you for joining us. For more It's the Muppet Show podcast, check us out at itsthemuppetshowpodcast.com. You can also listen and watch along, or listen along, or find clips of us on YouTube at /It's the Muppet Show podcast. You can like and subscribe us there if you want.
Mm-hmm.
You can also hear us on all major podcast providers. What do we got? iTunes,
Spotify.
Yep, Stitcher, Google, Anchor. And you can like and subscribe there or follow us there.
Yeah, like and subscribe.
Yeah, give us a rating. Never really asked for a rating.
Yeah, give us a rating.
Any feedback's fine. We're just trying to have fun. So, yeah, until next time. Can't wait.
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks.